Well, listen, folks, we've come to that part of the show for Mailbag. What we do is we take your questions that you send in to us and answer them on air. If you'd like your question asked during the show, make sure to email us anytime at amcmovietalk@gmail.com. Once again, that's amcmovietalk@gmail.com. And every day we'll select a bunch of emails and answer them during the show. Right now, Ashley's got a few of them already selected out. So, Ashley, what do we got?
Sir, I do. Juan Carlos writes, I enjoy listening to John's comments on the superhero brand in general, although I may disagree at times. With superheroes coming out in force, I was wondering, what's your take on The Incredibles 2 movie? In doing research, there's nothing in the works, although Brad Bird said that he wouldn't mind doing another one. I know it can be a long process, but with sequels coming out in force, I wanted your opinion if this time is now or in the near future to write and make an Incredibles 2.
The time for Incredibles 2 was 4 years ago. The time for Incredibles 2 was 2 years ago, last year, today, tomorrow, and forever. They should have done an Incredibles 2 by now. Look, I understand Brad Bird with the success of The Incredibles, which, you know, you can name 8 or maybe 5 different Pixar films to me, and I'll say, oh, that's my favorite Pixar film. You mention Up, and I'll say, oh, that's my favorite Pixar film. You mention Wall-E, oh, that's my favorite Pixar film. The Incredibles, that's my favorite Pixar film. I love so many of them. But I can understand that with the success that he had with The Incredibles, and obviously with Mission Impossible, and now he's got that new one coming out. I believe they're calling it Tomorrowland, or they might have. It was called 1947. I think they changed the name to Tomorrowland that he's doing with George Clooney. It's understandable that he's kind of busy. But, you know, The Incredibles is just one of those films that was so special. It was the first Pixar film that I watched that I really went, you know, Pixar, the secret to Pixar is that they do not make kids' films. They make kid-friendly films because there's so much of the themes and the topics and the dialogue and everything in The Incredibles that is really aimed at adults. Because when you're talking about, you know, parents in their late 40s or 50s looking back on their glory days, reminiscing, trying to capture, you know, the glory of their youth and struggles with marriage and family, that's not content targeted at 8, 9-year-olds. That's adult themes that are kid-friendly but not kid themes. And that's the genius of Pixar with all their animated films, why everybody loves them so much. But The Incredibles was really special on that level. It really was the most adult of their films so far. And maybe the funniest, one of the most enjoyable, like I said, Up, Wall-E, there's Ratatouille, there's so many of them, all the Toy Story films. But I mean, look, I'm starting to lose hope that we're going to see Incredibles 2. Because, I mean, we are seeing Pixar starting to do sequels. I mean, they did Cars 2, unfortunately. They've got Monsters University coming out, which actually looks like it could be really, really good. They're talking about Finding Nemo 2. Those are all great. But the one film, while maybe not their best film, The Incredibles is the one that demands the sequel the most. This is a film that is ripe for a sequel, especially when you talk about now the kids have grown up a little bit. There's so many different things you could do. But as each year goes past, I got to tell you, I'm losing hope. I don't know that they're ever going to get back around to doing The Incredibles. So right now, I'd say it's a 50-50 shot. I don't think we're going to see or hear about one in the next 3 years. But whether we find if we're going to get one between 3 and 5 years from now, that's the question. If it doesn't happen in that window, that 3 to 5 years from now window, I'm going to say I give up. I'm going to say I don't think it's actually going to happen.
I love that movie. I'm sad.
So do I
love it.
Hey guys, if you like this video, make sure to stop what you're doing and subscribe to our AMC Theaters YouTube channel to keep up to date on all the movie news, editorials, and our AMC Movie Talk Show. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter to hear about all our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.